Good morning and welcome to Thursday's Thought for the Day. Advent is rapidly approaching. In fact, next week we're going to be beginning what is traditionally known as Advent on the 1st of December. Although this coming Sunday, the 29th of November, is the first Sunday in Advent. But for a number of days now, we have been in Celtic Advent, which actually started back on the 15th of November, and I've been reading through these daily reflections, 40 days of devotions to Christmas from the Celtic tradition. And this morning, as I was reading about Cuthbert, within the Celtic tradition known as Saint Cuthbert, and how from a very early age he had a sense of his purpose in life, his destiny in life, that he was given this prophetic word about the kind of ministry and life that he was going to go on to lead. And even though he didn't really understand it because he was very young, he was only 8 years old at the time, it stayed with him and obviously massively shaped his life and the events of his life until he gave his life to Christ and to the ministry that God was calling him to. And the questions that the writer in this book is encouraging us to think about is, what do you believe about your own destiny? Do you believe that God has a divine plan which is unfolding before you as you walk upon the path of life? And that in itself is a big question, isn't it? About whether we believe that these things around us just happen by chance, whether we're caught up in that, whether or not God has preordained it, so everything that happens because God has chosen it, whether I have a choice in that and God simply knows in advance what that choice is going to be. They're big questions. What do you believe about your destiny? If you were told something in a prophetic way, like Cuthbert was, would you go away and contemplate those things? Would you go away and think about what you were told? And then it just encourages us, spend some time with God now, just contemplating the unfolding path of your life, how it has been, and perhaps anything which you have been told about its future. And then the reading that it talks about, I won't read all of it to you, but it's the reading where Jesus is presented at the temple after he's been born, and this naming ceremony, and Simeon is at the temple when Jesus is brought in, and Simeon takes Jesus, the baby Jesus, in his arms, and he says, "Master, now your servant may depart in peace, according to your word, for my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the presence of all people, a light of revelation to the Gentiles and the glory of your people, Israel." And a prayer, and this is a prayer to end this thought with this morning, as we think about the unfolding paths of our lives. Great and loving God, thank you for the care you place on my life from the moment my existence begins. Thank you for the care that you give as my life unfolds day by day. May I know your presence with me as I walk this path of life. And may I know your word spoken into my life by others to help me along this path. Amen. So God bless you today and stay safe. And I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.